So welcome back to this module on the learning organization. We looked last time at systems thinking, and now we're going to take a look at personal mastery as the next element here. And the way we're going to do that is frame it from how we're approaching personal mastery at Ubiquity. Now, the reason personal mastery is so important, we can see from the integral framework here, where personal mastery is the upper left quadrant, but it actually influences all the others. So you can see the arrows that move from the left all the way through and then down across to the right. Well, the arrow moves from the self into behavior, into culture, into systems and structures. And what's going on there is just think about how change happens or how things happen. An individual gets an idea or gets an impulse inside them in the upper left there, an impulse to do something, starts to act on that, moves to the upper right. The behavior changes. That behavior starts to influence and impact others. So it begins to build a culture around the new ideas. And then as that culture builds, people start to organize and create systems and structures to reflect that culture. But where does it start? It starts at the inner impulse of the individual who has this idea for something new. So quite literally, the inner state of us as individuals, what's going on inside of us, the quality of our ideas, our thinking, our presence, affects the quality of what we create in the world. So that's why personal mastery is so important, because what we create out there is a direct reflection of the mastery we have over ourselves. So let's take a look at the model that we're working with here at Ubiquity. So you may have come across this already through some of your personal development modules, through the assessment that you've taken. And what we're doing is we're saying, if we take a broad approach to a person and how they engage the world, how do we cover all the bases? How do we help map out the different dimensions of ourselves that enable us to be more effective in the world? So we've broken that down into these 8 life areas: energy and vitality, relationship and connection, personal development, organization and productivity, creativity and play, community and collaboration, purpose and integrity, and interconnectedness and wholeness. So these are different areas of our lives, all of which play a role in how we show up. And then we've broken those down into different ways of engaging, modes of engagement, we would say. 4 different modes of engagement for each of those life areas. So what we're going to do is go into some detail now around each of those life areas and the modes of engagement to begin to get a sense of how do we map out personal mastery? How do we make sense of it? How do we start to give it some language and help ourselves to identify where we seem to be strong and where we might want to improve? So, starting here at the level of energy and vitality. And as we're going through these, what's an interesting exercise to do is, as I talk to them and describe the different modes of engagement, just check in with yourself in terms of, does this feel like something I'm strong on, or is this something I want to improve? Is this something I'm conscious of not really paying much attention to? Or am I not even conscious of the fact that I'm ignoring it? Or am I totally comfortable or happy with this? So as I talk them through, do a kind of self-assessment in terms of, how do I feel about this one? Am I right on here, or is this something that needs some attention? And you can make some notes to yourself in your journal around how you feel you relate to these different modes of engagement. So starting here, this foundational level of energy and vitality. Down in the lower left there, the sensitive self-awareness, having the ability to be aware of your own thoughts, feelings, senses, bodily sensations in the moment. So that's really, as you're leading your life, you're not just with your attention outside of yourself on what's going on around you, but you're conscious all the time of how you are responding and reacting to that environment. So that level of self-awareness. The next one is energetic vitality. So the ability to feel energized at any moment in time. So how are you keeping your energy together? How are you keeping yourself awake and engaged? How do you keep yourself vital and full of life in the very challenging times often that we're in right now? The third one here, powerful engagement. The ability to take assertive action and give it your all, even when challenging or difficult situations arise. So how do you gather your force, your direction, your energy to really make an impact when action is called for, that you can show up, step into it, and really make a difference at that moment in time? And then the final one in this life area, easeful relaxation. The ability to step back, to rest, to relax, and to give yourself what you need to feel restored. So combined with, on the one hand here, our vitality and our ability to engage, how do we know when it's time to rest? Are you able to take that time to find what it is that you need to recharge yourself so that you're available when needed? Moving on to the second life area here around relationship and connection. The first mode of engagement we're calling passionate seeking. So that's the ability to sense your own physical, emotional, mental needs and to reach out to them for help. So when you feel that there's something you need, are you able to ask for it? Are you able to get a sense of, okay, this is what I feel I'm lacking at the moment that I really need help with? And can you reach out to your community or your family or your friends and ask for the help that you need at that time? The second mode of engagement here, joyful connection. The ability to deeply connect and be close with others in a way that is mutually nourishing and brings genuine good feelings and joy. So are you able to be in relationships with people which feel light and connected at the same time, which feel joyful, where both of you are fed by the relationship? You can be close to somebody, you're not losing your own energy in the relationship, but you are nourished through the relationship, and the other is as well. The third mode of engagement here, confident self-worth. So the ability to value and honor who you are, to be able to hold and maintain your own sense of identity and value as you engage with others. And the clearer you are on your own identity, what you have to offer and why you're here, the clearer and more nourishing the relationship will be with others. So it's that feels like a polarity sometimes between being able to, stand for who I am and feel my own identity and be in a nourishing relationship with others. But actually, the clearer we are about ourselves, the more energy can flow in the relationship, because you're not leaning on the other in the relationship, but you're there in a mature exchange of energy and value with each other. So the fourth, respectful differentiation. So as you're in relationship, the ability to be clear on what's yours and what's the other's. The ability to be able to say no when you want to say no. The ability to be able to differentiate between what belongs and what doesn't, and to be able to draw the boundaries when they need to be drawn. So again, relationship not just in a sense of always being in that sense of connection, but being clear on the identity of each other, so that the relationship is clear and we're able to have a mutually beneficial exchange. The third life area here, personal development. So focusing on our individual development in life. The first mode of engagement is responsible self-care. So really being able to look after ourselves, actively take responsibility for our own physical, emotional, and mental needs in a way that really nurtures you. So actively reaching out for what you need, for looking after yourself, knowing that that's not a luxury, but is something that's really important for you to be effective in the world. The second mode of engagement here, honest self-inquiry. So to be able to take feedback in and really honestly reflect for yourself on, is there something I want to improve or develop in myself here? What happened when I showed up there and I got irritated and something went on? You know, you're able to step back, take a look at yourself, acknowledge where something wasn't quite the way you want it to be, and make some kind of self-assessment that helps you to move forward. The third one here, authentic self-expression. Be able to take the risk of trying new, edgy, or challenging things that encourage you to grow beyond your current limits and comfort zones. So that feeling of, okay, there's something I'd really like to do here, and not to be held back by the expectation of others or concerns of what others are going to think of you, but really to step outside of that comfort zone, to express what it is that's burning inside and lay it out, and then see what happens. So to be unattached to the outcome, but to be really willing to be out there and engaged. And the fourth mode of engagement here, committed self-discipline. The ability to make and keep commitments that support you to build the skills, habits, and lifestyle you strive to attain and maintain. So it's one thing to kind of make a New Year's resolution. This is about making sure that you keep going with the resolution. So the ability for you to stick to your promises, to really take seriously your own needs and development on your path, and create a discipline around that keeps you going and makes sure that you grow sustainably. So the fourth life area here is organization and productivity. The first mode of engagement is big picture awareness, the ability to be attentive to and stay aware of what's happening, intuitively sensing where things are needing to go and what would best support that. So you're able to step back, to get a sense of the whole, to see what's going on, to feel how the different parts are relating to each other and where things need attention. The next one, dependable role ownership. So the ability for you to step into a clear role, assume the responsibilities that go with that role, and make sure you can be competent and reliable in fulfilling it, so that people can count on you. When you say, I'm going to take on this role, that you take on a role consciously, you step into it, and other people know that you're there for them as you fill that role. The third one, practical efficiency. So a very down-to-earth mode of engagement, the ability to effectively plan, organize, manage your time, take actions to reach your goals. So really learning how to turn your intentions into action, move your way forward in a very organized way, and make sure that you fulfill on the commitments that you've made, but in a very practical, hands-on manner. And the fourth one here, helpful cooperation. So the ability for you to contribute your time, skills, knowledge to others in a flexible way, being of service for what's asked for. So this enables you to really be available for others, to be available to help without any conditions attached. So as we look at these again, we're checking in with ourselves from, okay, where am I strong here? Where do I feel I need attention? You'll notice polarities being set up. Helpful cooperation is different in a way to the role ownership. The stepping into my role is one of the things, but that's very complementary to cooperation, because from that place of strength, you can go and support others. So we're about halfway through this piece on personal mastery. We've covered 4 of the 8 life areas and 16 of the modes of engagement. There's a lot to take in, so take your time. If you need to pause the video at some point to take it in, that's fine. And don't forget, as you're going through and I'm describing the different elements, to track for yourself which ones do you feel closest to, which ones feel a bit further away, and do a kind of self-assessment of your relationship to these. So as we move into the 5th life area, creativity and play, the first mode of engagement here is creative inspiration. So that's our ability to allow the given elements in a certain situation to cross-pollinate with each other and to generate fresh ideas and insights. So we're in a context and there's all sorts of stuff going on, and how are we able to allow what's happening to give us new ideas, to allow new things to emerge in that context. The second mode of engagement here is that of visionary imagination. So our ability to imagine a wide, rich range of future possibilities. Consider various hypotheses and potential opportunities. So to be playing with ideas in our minds, to be open to many different options and seeing what might be possible. The third one is playful experimentation. So to give yourself over to exploring and trying different things out. Trusting whatever happens will in some way be useful. Being ready to fail doesn't really matter. It's that ability to get in there, experiment, very important at this time, as we've talked about before. The ability to experiment without an attachment to the end result. Playfully, just like kids would get down playing with blocks, building stuff, experimenting with things, stuff falling over, trying again. That's the kind of energy of this mode of engagement. And the fourth and final one here in the creativity and play life area is enterprising implementation. So as you find a new idea or land on something, to be able to see it through in a concrete way. So to be able to take your idea and take it from concept all the way through into manifestation. So there's a discipline to it. There's an enterprise to it. To really give something form, to go from your idea into realization. That's this mode of engagement. So we move on to the sixth life area, community and collaboration. Much more focused on relationship, this one. So the first mode of engagement is that of empathic understanding. Our ability to cultivate curiosity and understanding, empathy for people and situations, and be able to appreciate different perspectives. So really to be able to put ourselves in the shoes of others, to feel how they might feel in that situation, and to appreciate that perspective that they're holding. The second mode of engagement here is caring support. To be able to build and also maintain nurturing friendships, connections to our community, where we know that we can be counted on, that people are there able to care for each other. So to build a relationship that's really about caring and nurturing for each other in that context. Thirdly here, co-creative collaboration. So to be able to team up with others, collaborate on shared goals in a way that each person's insights and gifts are used towards an end which nobody could have achieved on their own. And the fourth and final one in community and collaboration is inspirational, mutual empowerment. So how do you bring out the best in others? The ability to be able to see potential in somebody else and draw it out and amplify it and help them and allow them to do the same for you as well. So the ability to be in relationship in a way that really uplifts the different partners in that relationship. So moving on to the seventh life area here around purpose and integrity. The first mode of engagement, global interconnectedness. Our ability to reach out, to learn about and develop a meaningful connection with a diverse range of the world's different cultures, events, challenges, and opportunities. So really have a global worldview where we can relate to different perspectives, we can feel into different cultural contexts, honor them and respect them for what they are. The second one here, insightful discernment. So to be able to see and take in a vast range of information, to see what's going on, but to be able to make distinctions within that information, to be able to identify what matters most, look at the deeper needs and the potential that's there. So it's a way of filtering information as it comes to us and being able to discern what the useful stuff is, what needs attention and what doesn't. The third mode of engagement, context-appropriate action. So to be able to engage the world in such a way that the way we do engage fits precisely into the context that we're coming into. So not just entering action with our own idea of what should happen, but being able to engage a certain context that we meet the people and the situation where it's at. And then the fourth mode of engagement here is sustainable stewardship. So our ability to monitor, safeguard and manage natural resources and the evolving needs of systems in a way that supports them to be resilient and to thrive amidst the ongoing challenges. So how we notice and take care of the resources that are either available, for example, in nature, or the resources in our communities in such a way that they sustain each other, that we don't extract more than can be naturally replenished as we work with these resources in our natural environment and our social contexts.